So last night, another guy, speaking of the welterweight division, Vergil Ortiz, gets the mean machine out of
And
there.
then first off, my man called the fight perfectly.
Yeah, we need to give Ant credit because he was on the money with everything. Ant was like, yeah, I think he hurts him at some point.
I did wild out for a moment though.
Well, you showed up clutch.
You went far. You went way too far.
All the way right.
Yeah. We were all in on it. Ant was, so just for anyone, so we're watching it and Ant saying stuff and we're like, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. And then he said something, we're all like,
hey, it's like when people agreeing with you, all right, let's see how far they'll go with me.
You pushed it. But
he goes, you know what? This kid ain't that good, actually. After Vergil Ortiz got hurt. And I said, okay, Ant.
And then I thought about it. I said, yeah, it was a dumb statement.
But yeah, he it was another test for him.
Great test.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys feel differently. I don't know if I learned anything about Vergil Ortiz other than that he can recover from being hurt,
which is so important to learn.
Yeah, but I guess like tactically and like skill wise, like he was about what I thought he was going to.
He didn't show
not
us
bad or worse.
He didn't. I didn't see a lot of improvement from last fight.
Great jab, and
hell of a jab. Hell of a jab.
I don't really say that's
serious.
an improvement though. But
he has that. Yeah.
But he's a fantastic.
His jab is serious.
Defense.
I thought about y'all last night while I was watching. I'm like. Yeah. Dang, I got to go on and say he got one of the best jabs in boxing.
Add him to the list.
You keep falling down that list.
Yeah.
And his hands are fast. When he puts the combinations together, they're fast. He is fast. He could punch with both hands. And the thing is, when he fights one day a Boots Ennis, because they're going to take over the division, once you guys are done making big money finishing out the fights of this era. But when he fights a Ennis or a Terrence Crawford one day, coming in with the hands up, they can dissect that their own way. That's not the hardest thing to dissect stylistically, but he's never going to outbox those guys anyway. And the style, a lot of times that beats those guys is putting the pressure on. But to put the pressure on, you got to have power, you got to have some speed, and you got to have a great jab to cut the distance, right? So he's developing all that. Maybe he's not that right now to beat Terrence Crawford or Ennis, but to me, he's trending in a great direction to give himself the best chance. He'll never beat those guys trying to be nuanced in box. He's always going to be at his best, putting the pressure on and coming forward. And I love his development, man. Fast hands, power in both hands, and he showed the dog.
I think the thing with him, like Zytel mentioned, with cutting off the ring or even just putting pressure on him, his isn't going to be based on footwork. His is going to be based on the jab and the power, because he's not going to cut off angles. His footwork's just not that good.
I got to keep going back to Casemiro because the difference with him and Vergil is the fact that Vergil will use his jab.
Shout out to Victor Ortiz back this weekend.
You got to use your jab. Your jab is like it's a direct. It used as direction to point your guy where you want him to go.
Yeah.
Mistake number one from Casemiro, not using a jab.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the sense of urgency to get there. Casemiro knew this was the whole night.
Yeah.
You should know at some point, like have a sense of urgency to get where he's going. That's how you cut off the ring. It's that easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Vergil would have a sense of urgency. If somebody's moving too much and he can't get to him, he's the type of fighter if I don't feel you, I need to feel you. And he's gonna go at the guy. So I think, like you said, to your point, he'll use a lot of punches, combinations to get to a guy and move his feet. May not be the best, but he'll do what he's got to do to get to somebody.
Yeah, I think against those guys though, I think that is like, whether it's Boots, whether it's Bud, whether it's you, whether it's Errol, I think the lateral movement would give him trouble.
Yeah, that's going to give him hell. Lateral movement and his defense.
Yeah.
If he tightens that up, which I think the movement is what it is, you can get better defense.
Yeah,
you can still work on it.
There's fighters we've seen that just can walk people down, have the power, and
he's like, I'm just going to punch with you.
Yeah,
I believe. Yeah, I'm
so
stop
important.
Him.
For his style, that's so important. You know, because if you're waiting on a great boxer, you'd be waiting all night. Yeah. So
but it gets hurt, but then hurts Mean Machine more than a couple times.
I was gonna say at some point I bought into the fact that he's gonna have to punch with the Mean Machine and keep going, and in fact he did, and that's what got the done.
And the more he did it, the less Mean Machine wanted to do it with him.
Oh my gosh. I could not believe.
Hey, somebody called Coach Larry Wade.
I could not believe what I was seeing though. I'm not going to speak on what Coach Wade was, how he felt about it, but I could not believe we just talked about Vergil being the dog, like the lack of like, if we want to be nice, integrity. If we want to be nice, like, let's get, where's that grit and that like, bite in that fight?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah.
We've seen it twice now.
Hey, some people don't got it.
Yeah.
Some people, it's something I had to accept in life with playing sports. He just ain't got it.
Yeah, and they talked about that. They have the chicken talks on Twitter, and it's one of those things where it's like he's just not like a 12-round fighter. Yeah. Like he just, at some point, we always talk about levels. He's there, and you're like, okay. And then all of a sudden it's just like, and his just is still there.
Yeah.
So
do you think there's some fighters, Shawn, that once they when they're a big underdog and they like Luke Campbell against Ryan Garcia, Kaviaskis last night, and they have that moment early in the fight, are they already satisfied? Or like, hey, I already did good I had my moment, and or is part of them they get kind of scared? Oh, I pissed him off. Now he's really gonna come.
That's kind of talk like in boxing. People, coaches, because I've been around a lot of coaches that will literally say, they'll say something along the lines of, "Well, he's done his job," and it's like after that challenge, what comes after the challenge? And a lot of times the fighter has kind of bought into everything that's been said about him that he won't even like.
Kind of the George Costanza, leave on the high note. Yeah, I'm good for the night.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing. Yeah.
So
I think it is. I think it's a thing.
And so a good question on Vergil. So Beto HDZ says, is it time for Vergil and Boots to fight now? How do you see it playing out? And could that be like a last stepping stone for those two, maybe before a title fight?
No, it's definitely not the last stepping stone for those two before a title fight. If you take a look at it, I was a champion before I fought Keith. Keith was a champion, obviously, when we fought. I think that's when they should fight. They should fight when they're both champions, and they both have really solidified themselves as number one and number two. They have not done that yet. Obviously, just some more work for them to do. Right now, I'll speak on later. Boots ain't gonna do nothing but get better.
Yeah,
and I really think that Boots is not just. I don't think there's a facade around Boots. I really do think that Boots is sold as is. Yeah. He is that good, I think.
I'm not even trying to describe it, but he is like, he's the guy. We talked about like movies like Matrix. Like I think he's the one.
Is he Neo?
He's Neo. I'm like, because we talk about these guys and there's so many great young fighters.
I want to be. I'm Lawrence Fishburne. Then boom, I'm taking it. I don't care who.
You're not Morpheus.
I'm Morpheus. I don't give a damn.
You're more like Forrest Gump.
You corny. Hey, mute him.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it and I'm just like,
hey, what if you muted you?
There's so many great young fighters, and you'll talk about these guys, and I'm like, yeah, Boots is better than all of them. Yeah. Like anytime I think of a guy, I'm like, man, he's really good. I'm like,
damn.
I'm like, he's not better than Boots though.
And I cool with not being Neo, but damn.
Like, and both of them are gonna continue.
You just describe this guy as Neo. Like, damn. Like,
well, you're old now.
I know, but I'm saying
so
I'm
let
just
him
saying
be Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, I'm just saying
Fishburne was old.
Yeah,
right.
It's a little
Denzel.
That's a bit much.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Not Training Day. Not Training Day. But not.
Give my man one. Come on.
What's the movie he just did?
Which one? Lawrence Fishburne?
No.
Denzel. He wanted Denzel character.
Equalizer.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
The Equalizer.
Hey, man, look.
You don't have the power to equalize. But
hey, watch my hand.
So I saw. So how about we talk
I was about to send you in there.
Yeah, he's gonna be out of here.
Sitting on the couch a little while longer.
I think we skipped one about that.
No, I got it.
Okay, go ahead, Carson.
So I think with the. Before we move to next week's fight, and then we always talk about who's next for these guys, like Vergil.
Hype now, I'm equalizing.
How about this for a fight? Let me
got
flip.
hyped about him being Neo, but now I feel good about it.
You're stuck on it. So my guy Lefty, how about this for a fight? You know how you feel? Right. Vergil Ortiz, Jesse Vargas.
Vergil Ortiz
is another nice step. Another nice step for him.
Yeah.
And he mentioned
I will say
California crowd.
I don't want to give away no secrets. So I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, that'll be a good crowd.
Good fight. Yeah. Hey, that's a good fight.
Yeah. California crowd would be into it, but
what's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ed. Follow me on IG with 2 T's.
This is the Porter Way Podcast. This is Anthony Brenagh, and this is Carson Merk. Tell them what to do.
Hey, like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all social media platforms.
Subscribe.
I'm from Louisiana. I'll talk with a B. Let's do it. Let's do it again. Let's
All
do it
right,
again.
just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then tell them, and then you tell them what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Porter
You're
Way
here already.
Podcast.
You're already here.
Hey, this is our outro. We're gonna do it how we want to.
I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brenagh.
Carson A. Merk. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.